So, our brain could be our own worst enemy sometimes. We can have this little narrative in our head that tells us worst scenarios, the hardest options, the most difficult things, and the one that always keeps us small. So, I want you to try something. I want you to try asking yourself, what if that's not true? Then ask yourself, what, in fact, if the opposite is true? Now, your brain won't be able to help but go and find the answers. The other thing to ask it, when you get those niggly thoughts trying to keep you small and keep you down and keep you angry, ask it, where did that thought come from? And then follow that pattern. Follow it till you find the cause, because that's where you need to think about looking after yourself, because that's the bit that is sensing that, alert, we need to act. That's the bit that needs to be kept safe. Okay. Now, I want you to keep practicing that, and then I've got another exercise for you. I want you to turn off that niggly voice that pushes your buttons, pushes your triggers, and I want you to write yourself a letter. Right, no one else needs to read this. You can share it if you want, but I want you to completely turn off your head and try and do it as though this is automatic. So just put a pen in your hand, piece of paper, and I want you to write yourself a letter telling you the advice you would give your very best friend. And put in your letter what you would tell your best friend if they were hurt or sad and feeling angry. What advice would you give them? What would you do to try and make them feel better and to try and make them feel that it was okay and that they had people there for them and that they could be there for themselves? So just try and do it automatically. Turn off the, I can't write that. All those thoughts that can't start building up and trying to stop you. Just let them all go and think of, if I'm writing to my best friends and I'm worried about them and I'm worried about how angry they get in situations, what do you think they need to hear? And when you've done that, check back in. Bye. Take care. So, what's the letter? A more positive experience? Did you give it a more positive voice? Did you give advice that you would never have given yourself? Were you a lot kinder? Did you show more empathy, more understanding, more space to just allow them to feel? If you did, if you really gave that advice that was just kind, then maybe that's the advice you need to start giving yourself. And keep that letter for those times when you are just feeling yourself like it's getting too much, unmute it. If you didn't, be kind, and you really struggled to find the right thing to say, that's also okay. But what that's telling you is that you need someone else to help you with that. So go back to those 5 people, choose which one might be able to help you write a letter to yourself. Okay? See you in the next book. Bye.